What's it like in VRChat? Well, when you put the headset on, unlike what you're seeing on your monitor right now, where you just see just one image, you could turn your head and it feels a lot like as if you were actually in the room. It's like an alternative environment of what you are in person. You turn your head and yeah. Also, when I make videos, I use the chair colliders, that way it doesn't look out of place, because if you don't, you could just walk right into it and clip right through it. And that's the same thing with all the furniture in the world. You just walk right into it. Everything. Put the colliders on, and now you can't. You'll walk right on top of it. And then you have chairs, which gives you the ability to sit in them. You just find your sit square that's in all of that's in the sofa. You got different ones, different places that you could sit in. I think even the bar stools have them. You just find your sit square and click on it, and you will automatically go onto it. Some of these work good, and some, well, like this one, your legs will clip into it. I guess it can depend on the avatar that you're using as well. Same thing with the bar stool. You can sit right in it. And I'll show you what that looks like when I turn on the camera. Now, also, what I like to do, that way I could see what facial expression I'm using when I'm talking to someone, is I go in here and I go to personal mirror, and I would turn it on, and by default it's there, but I like to turn the grabbable on, that way I could pull the character up like close by and put it there, that way, and then I turn it off, that way if I'm using my hand, my character's going to go all over the place, with the mirror. So to keep the mirrored character of mine on the side, I turn that off, that way he doesn't move anywhere. The way I control the facial expressions is pretty much on the controllers themselves. I mean, if I put my middle finger and my pointing finger down, you would give this face. Or if I close my hand, it would do that. Or if I put my thumb on top of the controller, it would have that face. Now this finger right here, when I touch that, if I pull the trigger down, it would stick the tongue out. Not all avatars are like this. Most of them are. And for this side, I put these down. I get this face. Put that down. And I hold that one finger up and I get the sad face. And when I put this finger down, the eyes, are not I'm not sad anymore, but it looks like I'm making a fist. Now, if you can see this finger right there, if I, like for example, if I put this hand down, you'll see my mouth open up. And I squeeze this finger down, the eyes close, and if I put these hands down, it's going to look like I'm laughing. There, you see? Or if I do that, or that, yeah. So that's how I control the face, the facial expressions, I mean. So let me show you what it's like, what it'll look like, to automatically sit down. Let me just get the camera out right here. And let me, I had that camera out earlier. Let me just bring it back to its default. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to anchor a camera there. Wait, hang on. I didn't do it right. Do that again. All right. Now, I'm going to go to this seat, and you won't see the sit square like you were seeing before, but when I see it and I click on it, you're going to see this. It just automatically puts you into the seat. And when you want to get out, just push forward, and you get out of it. Now to sit in this one, when you click on the sit square, you'll see that it would do the same thing, but it just looks like I'm sitting in the chair with my feet clipped into the chair. And obviously that's not going to look good on video, so I'm going to show you what I do to make it look like I'm actually sitting in the chair correctly. I'll turn the chairs off, that way I don't accidentally click on them when I set it. Now let me turn the camera off for a minute, that way you can see my controls on my hand. Now what I do is I would go here and choose this. And you can see it would make me in a sitting position. And all I do is just back the avatar up. Now notice that I'm hovering above it. That's because I have the colliders on still. But that's okay, because all I gotta do is this. I can manually lower myself into the chair. Sometimes it takes a little while to get it just right, because you don't want to be hovering above the chair, or you want to try to make it look authentic and real as possible, even though it's really not. Now, when I turn the camera back on, you'll see that I'm actually sitting in the chair, correctly. Now, you see how I'm moving, like, back to back like this? I mean, back and forth like this? That's because I don't have the locking thing on, so let me take care of that. You see, when I turn my head, my whole body is going to turn with it. I just look down to make sure that my feet are in front of the chair and onto the floor, and then click that. And then now I could turn my head and my body don't go anywhere. And since I'm in a recliner in real life, like you see my face does that every time I move my hands, you can see that I could sit in my recliner, but it makes my avatar look all wonky when I do that. And then when I turn the camera on, you're going to see that it's going to look, yeah, hang on, yeah. You see that I'll look like this in the chair. And obviously that's not going to work either. I just look all out of place. Like, who would want to sit like this? This looks very uncomfortable. At least it would with me. What I do is I go back to here. I click on the plus and I'd look more like this. Yeah, you see, you can open the legs up a little bit to make it look like your character is relaxed. And what I do is I go here back to my personal mirror. I mean, this is going to take a little while to get used to. It took me a while to get used to this. But I do all this for perfection when I make a video. So it's basically a behind the scenes sort of thing that I'm doing for you guys. I go to world, that way I could see what I'm doing as far as the avatar and the chair goes. And I would just go back over here to Google logo and then just manually lower myself down into the chair. All right. And I would unlock this, that way I can, okay, that didn't work out too well, but it's going to take a little of getting used to. But yeah, so you just and of course, to kind of help it a little bit, I sit up in my real life chair. Hang on. Sit up in my real life chair. That way I'm kind of upward a little bit. And hang on. And then I go back here. And then I lock it. And once it's locked, then I kick back in my real life chair. And it may take a little of getting it just right. Like you can see part of the chair is clipping into my leg. So you just gotta pretty much find the spot, I guess. And what I do is I just move up some a tiny bit and then go back to locking it in place again. And then kick back in the chair again in real life. And you can see that it looks somewhat decent. And when you turn the camera back on, it looks somewhat normal. Looks like, you know, the character's really laying in the chair. Like right now I'm using the flying option on the camera in VR. You can see that it's a little off a tiny bit, but it was just me just showing you pretty much just how I put my character in a chair. You know, where it looks, where it actually looks practical, and not just looks like it was just thrown in there. So basically I do a lot of these before I even make a video. And if I have anything like this that's in my videos, I would just clip them out. But yeah, but now you know how I put my characters in chairs if the preset sit doesn't make my character sit in a chair properly. That's how I do it manually. And of course, like I said, it still looks like it's the character's still hovering. And what I do with that is I could just pretty much just change the size of the character, just make the character a little bit bigger. Yeah. So now, that didn't work. Let me go back to it. I gotta remember to click the trigger button to keep it locked in. There. Now it's locked in. And then I go back here, go back to here. Of course, a little extra with the recliner. Hang on. All right. Now, this is probably going to look a little bit more realistic now. Well, almost. I mean, yeah, the leg is still clipping in the chair a little bit. I might be able to do... Wait. Let me see. I think it's this one. Yeah, I think it's this one. So I might... be able to do that. And I want to turn the camera back on. I should look like I'm sitting in the chair correctly. There, see, that looks much better, don't you think? Yeah, that looks a lot better. The character looks a little more comfortable. Of course, I'd have to bring the character out just a tiny bit. That way you don't see the legs clipping into the chair like this. Yeah, my joystick is acting up weird on my right controller. I gotta get another one of these days. But that's not on my priority list right now. So I just gotta make do with what I got for the time being. But yeah, that's how I put my character in a chair. And of course, all this tweaking that I'm doing to get my character to look right, I do all this before I make the video. So you're pretty much seeing what I'm doing before the video even starts in some of my videos. And to undo all that, even though it seemed like it was a lot of work involved, yeah, let me take the environment thing out. Yeah, it does take a little getting used to. Yeah. Now I don't see the chair behind me, but when you saw it in the camera and you saw it in my personal mirror with the world on, you can see that it looks like I'm actually sitting in the chair. Now to get out of this, it's real easy. figure all that work, why get out of it now? Well, that's all part of making a video, even though I'll probably get like maybe 3 or 4 likes tops, you know. But it is what it is, right? And then I just go here, and there I am. So that's basically VRChat. I mean, you could, sit or stand. I mean, you got all kinds of controls on how you want to control the avatar, which is the character right in front of you, that you are representing yourself as to everyone else in the room. Now, to watch a video in VR, you just you go to. I'll just go to my YouTube channel and go to videos, and I'll just click a video, and I highlight it, copy it, go back, and then hit the clipboard. It'll appear here, and then OK, and it will load the video up, and then it'll start to play in a moment. Yep, there it is. And of course, they got rooms like this where you could actually search on YouTube for different things. Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. Are you kidding me? All right, whatever. But anyway, now I'm gonna go ahead and turn my personal mirror off because I'm gonna stand in front of the bigger one over there in the wall. So I'll turn this off because I really don't need 2 mirrors. All right, for the mirror on the wall, you got this one where it's got the background behind it. And for the low quality mirrors for the computers that run a little bit slower than the one I'm using, where you just got the character you see and nothing else behind you. But I'm going to put it back on the high quality one just to have a little background back there. The way I control my avatar, I pretty much just have the 3 trackers, which is the headset, and one on each hand. Now the full body one is going to have another tracker, well, 3 more. You're going to have one that you're going to wear on a belt, which is pretty much going to be on a belt buckle right in front of you. And then you have 2 more, one for each ankle. That would be a total of 6 trackers. Waist, 2 ankles, both hands, and your head, which is pretty much going to puppeteer the avatar very accurately to your real-life self. Eventually, one of these days, I'm going to get that for me, but right now I'm not really in a rush for getting that just yet because maybe I got a little comfortable sitting in my recliner and just controlling the character with the controllers. And another thing is, something in VRChat can probably jump out in front of me and make me move out real quick in person and, probably make me knock over a table or a drink or something, which wouldn't be cool. But yeah, that's some things to keep in mind if you're going to do something like this. Just make sure that your surroundings is clear if you plan to do full body. Another thing they have is they got the face tracking where, like I was showing you earlier, I was using the controller to control my face. Well, they got a headset, I forget which one it is, where it actually, your face will actually control the face of your character in VR. So you got that also. I mean, eventually I like to get that. That way I don't have to do, so much with this. And also sometime, well, actually all the time, like when I'm talking, I always talk, move my hands all over the place. And sometimes when I point at something, you'll see my character will do all these bizarre faces, and I don't do it intentionally, but it just so happens to do that when I'm pointing or doing something. Like right now, I'm not trying to control my face. I'm just pointing, but it automatically just triggers your face. Like, you would be doing this while you're talking, or if you grab something, you're going to be looking like this, and that's just going to be so out of place. So, but you understand what I'm saying. So maybe that's some future gear that I'm going to get for myself to better improve, my videos. All right, so in my next video, I'm going to show you how I edit my videos. So stay tuned for that. Until next time, take care and have a good one.